Welcome back to CordcuttersLI, where we help to save you money on your cable bill. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 tips and tricks every Fire Stick or Fire TV owner should know. The tips I'm going to share with you today will not only help your Fire Stick perform better, but they'll also improve your entertainment experience when it's time to watch all your favorite movies and TV shows, or maybe catch that big game on Sunday. Now, I realize that for some of you, a few of these tips won't be new. For that reason, I've put clickable links below the video so you can jump right to the spot you need help with. If, however, you're a new Fire Stick user, you'll probably want to watch this video through to the end so you don't miss out on anything. Alrighty then, I have a lot to show you, so if you're ready to learn how to get the most out of your Amazon Fire Stick or Fire TV device, grab your remotes and let's go. Tip number 1 is actually a short list of accessories that you may want to get for your Amazon Fire Stick. I've been using all of these for years, and I just wouldn't be without them using my Amazon Fire Stick. The first one is, if you notice, the Amazon Fire Stick has only one port on it, basically. I mean, you have the port that you connect to your TV, but then on the other side, if you look all around, you only see one other port. It's a micro USB port that is used to plug your power into. And then once you do that, you're done, right? There's nothing else that you can plug into it. Unless you add probably the most popular accessory for the Amazon Fire Stick. And this is what we call an OTG cable, or on-the-go cable. And what this does, it's sort of a splitter for the USB, for the micro USB port. You plug one end into that where your power plugged into, then you plug your power into the other leg of the OTG cable. And then, as you can see, you'll have one USB-A port that you can plug in anything you'd like. I mean, you can plug in a USB dongle for a mouse if you want to, so you can have a mouse to control your Fire Stick. You can install, if you wanted to install more than one device. As you can see here, this OTG cable only provides you with one USB-A port, right? Well, if you wanted to connect more than one port, then the next accessory that a lot of people get, is very, very popular, is this USB 3 hub with 1 gigabit Ethernet connection. And this will plug into, like I said, this will plug into the OTG cable as well. And then it provides you with 3 USB ports that you can plug anything into. So you have, storage. You can plug in an additional USB storage thumb drive. You can install, a mouse, a keyboard. I've done a number of reviews on different USB keyboards and Bluetooth keyboards and all this other stuff here at CordcuttersLI, and you'll be able to see, all those different things that you can plug into this device, as well as this 1 gigabit Ethernet adapter or port that comes with the hub. And this will allow you to get much faster speed than that old, slower 10 megabit Ethernet adapter that Amazon sells. So anyway, that's the U-Green hub. The next accessory I wanted to just mention briefly, and this is one I've been using for quite a while. It comes in a pack of 2. I'll put the links for all these different things down in the description below the video. This is the cover for the Fire Stick 4K Max 2nd generation. This one is glow in the dark, so you won't lose your remote if you misplace it. And in fact, I'll get to misplacing the remote and how we can, and what we can do about that in a little bit in another tip later in the video. But anyway, these are some of the accessories that I think a lot of people use and are very, very popular with the Amazon Fire Stick. Tip number 2. This is one of the things that you can do on your Amazon Fire Stick to speed it up and have it perform better. I'm going to be touching on a couple more in tips number 5 and number 8, so stay tuned for those. But for this one, basically we're talking about clearing cache and saving space, or regaining some space on our Fire Stick. So as you probably are aware, one of the biggest things that people have to complain about the Amazon Fire Sticks in general is the lack of storage. Up until the latest version, this 4K Max 2nd generation, that has 16 gigabytes. All of the other Fire Sticks really came with 8 gigs. And, 16, it's not a ton. So you're going to be running out of space potentially. So, in order to help that, help reduce that, if we go over to the gear, let me show you how to clear up some of this space with the cache and the storage. You go to the gear and then go down to where it says Applications. Go down to where it says Manage Installed Applications. And while we're here, here's a nice update that they did recently. You can sort these apps alphabetically, or you can sort them by app size. This is what we're going to do, because then we'll know the largest apps, and if we don't use them very often, we can remove them. Or you can do it by the recency. So like the last time you use the apps, the bottom of the list will be the ones that you very rarely, if ever, use, and then so on and so forth. So let's sort by app size. And so as you can see here, I've got a couple. There's actually this one here, 2.5 gigabytes is taken up by this app. That's kind of crazy. I'm not even sure what this app is. I think it was something that I was playing with. This happens very often. Like you'll install an app, you don't know if you like it or not, and then you leave it there, and then boom, it's there, and it's like, wow, it's taken up a lot of space. So what we can do here is if we go into it, you can go to uninstall, and it will tell you right there, deleting this app will free up 2.5 gigabytes of storage. And so yes, let's go ahead and do that. So you can do that throughout the list. You can go and basically remove any apps that you don't use. Now, the next thing that you can do is if you go into the apps, what you want to do is go down to clear cache, especially on the apps that you use often. As you can see here, let me move myself out of the way a little bit. Right now, the cache is for this specific application is 85 megabytes is taken up. So if you clear the cache, that's going to free that up and reduce some space, and then also speed up the performance, because basically more memory is going to have the ability to have more performance and more speed on your Fire Sticks. So basically that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is actually an app, a free app that you can install on your mobile phone that will control your Fire Stick. It's actually a remote control app that's free in the, if you have an Android, it's in your Google Play Store. If you have an iPhone, it's in your App Store. And basically, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now. You go into the Play Store and you can just search for Fire TV. You'll see it right there on the list. On mine, I already have it, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up. It's really simple. You need to, once you have the app open, you connect to the same Wi-Fi network that your Fire Stick is on. And as you can see here, it will show me, it says Bob's third Fire TV. That's the device I have right now. This is the Amazon Fire Stick 4K Max 2nd Gen. When you tap the button to join, you'll see a 4-digit code appear on your screen on the Fire Stick. So just type in that code. The code is going to be different for you. This is going to be unique each time. And this only is the first time you open up the app, you'll get this. After that, it will remember it. And as you can see on the screen and in my hand, that you can now control the app by moving all over that you want and so on. So quite handy. In fact, one of the best things about it is that you can get the keyboard. So like, for example, if you wanted to go into an application, let's say we'll go into Downloader, and if you wanted to type in an address, it's very easy. You can go ahead and enter the text there right on the screen. Click on that. You'll see the screen. Type in like long URLs in Kodi and other applications and things. So this application is free. It's in the Google Play Store or Amazon App Store. And this is very handy in case you have a problem with your regular Amazon Fire TV remote. You can always have this one handy to be able to still operate your Fire Stick. You don't have to worry about, if you misplaced the remote, the batteries died, whatever. And check this out. It's free. It doesn't take any time at all to install. And there you go. Tip number 4 also has to do with the remote. And basically this is to kind of give you some troubleshooting tips for when you have issues with the remote. So the most common issue with the remote control is that, if you're running low on battery. So if you go over here to controllers, in settings, you go down to controllers and Bluetooth devices. You go down to Amazon Fire TV remotes, and you find your TV remote, and it'll tell you right there that the battery is okay. But if you're unable to do that, or if the remote isn't working, there's a thing called Diagnostic Mode that you can do on your Amazon remote. And if you look close at the remote to see if your remote is compatible or is able to do Diagnostic Mode, just press this blue button. If you have a blue button there, and you'll see if it blinks blue like that, that means that your remote is capable of doing this Diagnostic Mode. To go into Diagnostic Mode, you're going to hit the rewind button. That's this one here, and the right button on the D-pad for 3 seconds, and then hit the menu button, and you'll see that it'll be lit solid green there. So now if you go ahead and just start tapping buttons on the remote, you'll see that it blinks blue. If it's blinking blue as you navigate around, there's nothing wrong with the remote. Everything is good. If when you do this, it blinks red slowly, that means that the batteries are low on the remote, and you should replace them. So even if you, if you don't want to trust that indicator by going into settings and going down into the remote and controller settings, and you can see that it's low or okay, you can, in Diagnostic Mode, you can check that out. It's not a very commonly used thing, but if you need it, you need it, and so on. So while you're in Diagnostic Mode, if you click the buttons and you get either a white or an orange light blinking, that means that your remote isn't paired, and it's probably not going to work for you. And the way to pair the remote is, the first thing you need to do is get out of Diagnostic Mode. And the way to do that is to hold in the play and up buttons for 3 seconds, and then the menu. So it's the play and the up buttons for 3 seconds. And then I'm going to hit the menu button. And so now the light is out, as you can see, and the remote works like normal. Of course, there's nothing wrong with my remote right now. But if you did need to pair the remote, the easiest way to do that is to restart the Firestick and then wait. And when I say wait, it's a good couple of minutes to wait, and you'll eventually see a screen that looks like this. When you see that, you go ahead and hold in the home button on the remote, and it will go ahead and pair successfully. That's all there is to it. Tip number 5 is a way to protect your privacy. Amazon, as you are probably aware, they like to sell you stuff, and the easiest way to sell you stuff is to know and to keep track of where you go and what you do, and so on and so forth. And as I said earlier, tip number 5 is going to also be one of these tips that's going to help the performance of your device as well. So if we go over to the gear, once again, go into the gear, go into preferences, go into where it says privacy settings. First, where it says manage sharing from apps, this says allow supported apps to share your viewing and content information with Amazon. Let's go ahead and turn that off. If we leave that on, basically that's going to continuously send info back and forth, using your internet connection and the resources on your Firestick to basically let Amazon know the things that you do, as far as, everything, your rentals, your activity, your watch list, purchases, all that stuff. So let's turn that off. And basically you've got some other settings here, stored email addresses. You can leave that. Go down to where it says device usage data. Now I've already got some of this stuff turned off by default on mine, but these are all on by default when you first get these Firesticks. So make sure that device usage data is set to off. This is basically, it says use personal data collected by the operating system of this device for marketing and product improvement purposes. Why do we need to use the resources and the internet bandwidth on our device to let Amazon know what we're doing to keep track of stuff? So no, let's turn that off. And also collect app usage data, same thing. Allow Amazon to collect information relating to the frequency and duration of your use of third-party apps downloaded from the App Store. Let's say no. Okay, just say no. Same thing down here for interest-based ads. This is going to keep track of the places that you go, and it's going to kind of show you ads based on that stuff. Again, data going back and forth between your Firestick and Amazon for their purposes. We don't need that. Let's keep that off. Okay. Tip number 7 is how to, and I use this word cautiously, jailbreak the Fire Stick. Now, everybody, you know, it's almost synonymous. When you hear the word Fire Stick, almost the next word that almost always comes out is jailbreak, you know. So if you talk to somebody and they say, oh, I got a Fire Stick. Oh, did you jailbreak the Fire Stick? Well, jailbreaking the Fire Stick really is nothing special. It's basically installing an application, or, you know, changing a setting and then installing an application that you can get to applications or apps that are not in the Amazon App Store. That's really all it is. It's nothing special. It's nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. But tip number 7 is, I'll show you how to jailbreak it. Basically, you go over to the gear, you go down to where it says My Fire TV, you go to developer options. Now, if you don't have developer options, don't worry. You can go up to about and then hover over your device and hit the select button. That's the middle one 7 times. As you can see here, I'm already clicking it. It says no need. You're already a developer. If you hadn't done this yet, you would need to hit this 7 times until it says just the same thing on mine, that you're a developer. And then when you go back to developer options, you would go where it says install unknown apps. You want to make sure that under where it says downloader that you have this set to on. And this also assumes that you have the downloader application already installed. And if you don't, it's a quick and easy free download from the Amazon App Store. You can just go over to the magnifying glass, go to search, and you can search for downloader. And there it is. Okay. So once you're in downloader, you're going to want to agree to any permissions or anything that pops up on the screen. And real quick, let me just show you for an example here in this, where it says enter a URL or a search term. I'm going to give you the one and only short code that you're probably ever going to need. It's 89364. If you put that in there and then go over to where it says click go, it's going to redirect you to my CordcuttersLI.com website. Takes a few seconds just so you can verify that you didn't mistake the number when you typed it in, so you know where you're going. You hold in the select button and go to full screen mode. It helps you navigate around here. And if you go to this menu here, I mean, you can search around my whole website for different things if you want to, but down here where it says tutorials, you'll see all the different applications that you can install on your Fire Stick. And I'm adding stuff here all the time. Literally dozens of videos on a lot of these apps and stuff that I've done here at CordcuttersLI already. Oh, and I should mention also, while you're here at the CordcuttersLI.com website, go ahead and long press that button again and go down to where it says add current page to favorites. That will allow you to later on come back here and just go to favorites and then just go ahead right to the website where all of your good stuff is. And you also don't have to wait those 5 seconds again. So now when you click on it, boom, it just brings you right there. Okay, tip number 8. This has to do with that top half of the screen here. So if you go up here to the top, as you can see, it's going to play add videos with sound, which is quite annoying. So if you go up here, as you can see, it'll just play a bunch of these different ads, and it's going to show with sound. This basically is obviously using bandwidth, it's using resources, it's using our device, and that's not a good thing. So the way to turn that off is, again, go over to the gear. Let's go over to where it says preferences. Now let's go over to where it says featured content, and now where it says allow video audio play, this says allow featured rotator to autoplay videos. When off, only still images will appear. So you can turn off the videos. Unfortunately, we're still stuck with those images up there, but they don't turn into videos that are gonna, you know, kind of make you hate life. Same thing for allow audio autoplay. Let's go ahead and turn that off. So now when we go back to the home screen, if you go up, you'll see all you do see is images, no sound, no videos, and that's it. Unfortunately, you can't turn this off completely. The only way to do that would be to install sort of a launcher app, you know, or something, so you can change like the home screen and stuff. I've got some videos on that as well. Take a look through my library and you'll see some third-party launchers that you can have, and that will get rid of all that stuff on the screen. But anyway, that is tip number 8, how to turn off the home screen ads. Tip number 9, offload apps. This is something that you're probably going to want to disable. And let me explain why. If you go over to the gear and you go down to where it says applications, there's this thing here that says auto offload. It says automatically offload unused apps when your Fire TV is low on storage. Again, we're back to that storage thing. If your Amazon Fire Stick is low on storage, and I have a rule of thumb of, like say 1 gigabyte. If you are approaching 1 gigabyte or less of storage available on your Fire Stick, you're going to start to see some issues, some performance issues. You might see some buffering, you might see some freezing. You may have to restart your Fire Stick more often than other times, things like that. So what this does, though, is unfortunately, I feel that this feature that Amazon calls it, I feel it's not really ready for prime time, because I've seen it firsthand myself, and I've seen a number of other YouTube creators talk about how it's not necessarily removing apps that we haven't ever used. Like it can potentially remove an app that we use quite often, and we don't want to do that. So if we turn that on, basically, this is going to basically automatically remove apps as it wants to. It says it's going to remove apps that we rarely use, but like I said, it's not really necessarily the case. It's easier to just leave this set to off and do what I showed you in step number 2, to clear the cache and to remove the unused apps as you want to. Don't let Amazon do it for you, because they're going to mess it up. Tip number 10, and I just recently turned this on, the audio, and as you can hear here, every move I make, I don't know if this annoys you, but it annoys the heck out of me. This click, click, click as you're going through here. This I find is annoying. It's one of the first things that I do when I get a Fire Stick, when I set it up, is I will go to the gear, and then you go over to where it says display and sounds, and you go over to audio, and right there where it says navigation sounds, you can click this to change that to off. And now watch what happens when I click the home button. I can navigate around. Oh, it's so nice and quiet and peaceful, isn't it? Yes, I like that much better. How about you? So there you go, 10 tips and tricks that you can use on your Amazon Fire Stick or Fire TV devices. I hope that you found something in this list that you didn't know about before. If you did, please let me know. Put some comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're one of the few people that actually knew about all 10 of these things, you're on a pretty elite list, and let me know about that in the comments down there below. So with all that being said, if you enjoyed anything you saw here today, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, share this and all of your favorite CordcuttersLI videos with your friends. This not only helps to get my videos shown to more people on YouTube, it also helps to support the channel. Thanks so much for watching.